Welcome to the first Sci-Friday. Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video, I am doing the first of what I'm calling Sci-Friday, and as I mentioned in my wrap-up, I'm sure somebody else has done that. I know, it's probably not the most original thing, but it sounded fun. And this is for the next several Fridays. I'm going to be doing reviews for the SPSFC quarterfinalists and reading each one of those and having a review come out on Fridays for those and talking more about them. And we started it off with Melody, which is by David Hoffer, and man, did we start out strong on this one. So, I will know, going to be talking about this, so I think we're not supposed to, influence other people who are judging, so if you're also on my team, don't watch this, I guess. I really, really had a blast with this book. This was I enjoyed the heck out of it, and it did a lot of really interesting things. This is one that, from doing the preview stage and voting on what's going to move forward, my interest was piqued very quickly, and I was excited to see what happened. And the setup here essentially is there are some scientists they're able to identify a signal that's coming from space, and it's like a very complex signal, and it seems like it has to be somehow coming from some more advanced civilization, some more advanced beings coming from very, very far away, and they're trying to figure out what this is and decode it and get that figured out, while at the same time our main character, Stephen Fisher, is finding that he's somehow kind of involved because he can essentially hear it and seems related to it somehow, and somehow his daughter, his young daughter, is as well. We find out in the early stages that when he was a child, he was given electroshock therapy because he was seeing and hearing things, and so was brought in, and there was an incident that happened there as well, and then he ended up actually becoming a psychiatrist as well and helping other people with those issues. And so it was a really interesting setup, kind of trying to figure out how he's going to be involved and what the setup is. But this does go through a few different beats, and it's called the title on it actually says it's a first contact techno thriller, which I think is a pretty good explanation of it, because it's very much a first contact type of novel. I mean, that's the base setup, is signal coming from space from another being, essentially. But the way that it's set up, I found to be interesting, because this is we're looking long term at how the government would handle that, what things are going to be done, how do we actually get this figured out. So we spend some time looking at that and seeing what happens and dealing with the government and what they want from Stephen Fisher and all the different other players. We get some well-defined characters as well who are involved, some good, some bad, from their opinions, but it gives, I think, a very actual realistic look at how something like this would actually happen. You sometimes get books where it's like, oh, this is really cool, probably wouldn't happen it this way. I'm like, I could absolutely see things going down this way. And it brought in some surprises and had some things set up early on I thought that worked really well also. But I was very interested in this one, and I read it so fast. It's not a crazy long book, but I started it and finished it the next day. I started it kind of late and didn't get very far, and I couldn't put it down. I was having a great time just wanting to see what was going to happen next, because we had just all kinds of great moments here, and as we start to find out more and see what's coming in, some of it you can see where it's coming from, but the things that end up happening I thought were set up well, but also still quite surprising, and the way that everything is going to have to then try to be resolved, I also found to be really interesting as well. It took a look at some different topics of the sci-fi universe that I have not seen before, and I'm not a very well-read sci-fi reader at this point, so there's still probably lots of things that would be new, but some of the ideas that explored I thought were really interesting, with the main thing being the plane of consciousness, which is explored a lot here, which is apparently a thing, and it's a theory that at least some people have apparently in the field. And so exploring that was interesting, but with the way it happened, and the way the book ended, of course, with no spoilers, but I found the ending to be very fitting, and it just was, it kind of just brought home everything that was being talked about, and just kind of teased so that you still feel like there's you can kind of then think about what's coming next. So I thought it ended very well too. So a really enjoyable book, and I definitely recommend this for somebody who wants just a fun sci-fi read that explores some things in a unique way. And yeah, so this was a really great start. I am, like I've said, planning on doing one of these a week for reviews. I think most of them are not particularly long. I'll plan to hopefully do reviews, or at least talk about it in like a wrap-up or something for the ones that didn't make it forward that I was really interested in as well. But for the most part, I was really happy with the group, and I started with this one, and like I said, starting out strong. Just a really interesting novel, and I definitely recommend check it out. And let me know, because I'd love to talk to some more people about this one, because I had a lot of fun with it. So those really, though, are my thoughts on Melody, the First Contact techno thriller by David Hoffer. Really, really enjoyable book. I'll definitely be checking out more stuff from this author as well. And so let me know if you have read this one, or if you're interested in checking it out. Would love to hear your thoughts on it. And that is all for this one, though, so make sure to give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Check the link in the description, as always, for the Wizardly Duo Discord if you want to chat books, whether this book, other books, any books, really anything at all. It is a lot of fun, and we would love to have you. And, of course, if you enjoy my content, make sure to subscribe.